Okay, so after testing that intro video, it did not work. Oh my goodness. Anyway, must be the juju that our guest is sending our way. We were just talking about this very thing. Uh, Welcome to the strategy session, everyone. It is Americo, and I'm talking as if I'm an object in the third person. It is Wednesday. We typically do this on Tuesday. This is a rescheduled event. Last week we ran into some technical issues, but I believe we ran into some technical issues in a good way. I know that Peggy had a emergency she had to deal with, and LinkedIn and Restream weren't cooperating or playing nice in the digital sandbox. So everything happens for a reason, does it not?
Absolutely.
All right. So why don't we welcome my co-host Kendra? Welcome back. Thanks for putting up with me. Uh, it is a fantastic time here in Toronto. We are starting what is known as we don't have spring or summer here. We have winter and we have construction, and
Oh,
and a little bit of seasonal allergy season. Uh, so I'm excited for that. If I start to tear up, it isn't anything that either of you have said. It's probably my allergies kicking in. So Peggy, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us once again. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me once again. Last week we had a little tech issues, and then we had a dog emergency simultaneously, so it worked out well. Anyway, my name's Peggy MacArthur. I am a certified professional photographer. I've been doing that for over 36 years. About 5 years ago, I started working with photographers and creative business people, teaching them how to business. Creative folks don't really like the business side of things. And I realized that I wasn't alone in that. So I built a community to teach people how to run business in a way that it didn't feel cringy, and to make money, because after all, that's why we do this, right? Is to make money. And long story short, that's how I stumbled upon Go Brunch, and kind of where we are today with this amazing platform and community. So I know we're going to talk about that today. I don't know how much you want me to say in the intro, so I'll just kind of leave it there, and then we can go forward.
Excellent, Kendra. Why don't you say hello to our loyal listeners, and for anyone listening to us on replay who doesn't know who we are, why don't you share a little bit about who you are and what you bring?
sure. Thanks, Americo. Thanks for rescheduling this and doing all the organizing and making the wonderful stage that we have. So I appreciate everything that you do to get us all organized and ready for these type of events. And I'm excited to hear from Peggy today and learn more about what she does with the Global Business Plaza. I'm going to be learning along with the audience. So that's kind of exciting.
Excellent. Listen, it is one of the things that a lot of people get uncomfortable with is not knowing and a lot of uncertainty. But one thing I'm certain is that anyone listening who doesn't know Go Brunch or what Go Brunch brings or what Peggy and the Global Business Plaza brings in terms of value, the last few episodes we've been talking and we've been immersed in e-commerce and the whole e-commerce ecosystem. We've talked about, you know, the a lot of strategy, a lot of conversation around user experience and the whole e-commerce landscape. And I know that there are many people who are starting to slowly adopt this whole metaverse, but here we are, kind of somewhere in the middle. And I was introduced to Go Brunch a few months back, maybe 6 months now, and it didn't really gain much traction till recently when I recognized uh, when Peggy put together and organized a this expo that brought virtual vendors to this mall, I want to call mall like ecosystem. And I thought, wow, this is something I've never seen before. And I'm often heard referencing be seen, be heard, be remembered. And what better way to complement your business and differentiate yourself? I talk about the whole buying experience, and customers very often want to compare apples to apples, and I try to convince them, it's like, this isn't about apples to apples. You don't want to be just another apple. You want to be that orange in a bushel of apples, and you really want to stand out and set yourself apart. But not only that, let's kind of add to the narrative. We have this opportunity to make and create a virtual shopping experience and that virtual resource like I've never seen before. And
Yeah.
hey, I'm not going to say, because I'm not technically savvy, is there other uh, platforms similar to this? Possibly. But right now, I'm all in on Go Brunch, and I'm starting to build my little ecosystem. And I'll share once Peggy jumps into it what I'm starting to cultivate and build. I'm building a community where people can feel like when they're reaching out to me, when they're sitting with me, that they're not only visualizing me, but they're visualizing themselves immersed in the environment that I'm creating. So I'm
Oh,
gonna
that's
shut
cool. I'm
I'm gonna
really
shut
excited to hear
up.
more. Sorry. I seen comments come in, and it looks like there's a lot of other people who enjoy Go Brunch who have joined us saying they are brunchaholics or I love Go Brunch. So I think the audience is definitely going to enjoy this as well.
That's excellent. And if anyone from the audience wants to join the conversation, or anyone wants to ask a question, uh, please either drop it in the live chat, or just ping me. If we're connected, just send me a DM. I'll send you the link. I dropped the link in the chat. I'll drop it in again for anyone, so that it's always front of mind. There we go. There it is again. All right, Peggy, I'm gonna zip it, and I'm gonna hand the stage over to you. Uh,
Well,
Go ahead.
I want to kind of build on what you're talking about, and I think it fits in with your show in general. Um, like I said, I've been a professional photographer for 36 years. The last 10 years, I switched from being first 27 years, I focused on families. I was a high end portrait photographer, events, weddings, babies. But about 10 years ago, I started really focusing on headshots. And I'm in Los Angeles, so I work with a lot of actors. And I was really focusing on what is the psychology behind a headshot? What makes that headshot pop? Because the headshot, it's like for an actor, it's everything. They don't even get to show their talent until they're picked through their headshot, even for an audition. So it's a lot of pressure. You have to tell a whole story in this one picture. And this goes back to Go Brunch, I promise. Anyway, so I really spent a lot of time studying the psychology of what made an image impactful. And my tagline was, your headshot should be more than just a pretty picture. It should be one of the biggest parts of your marketing strategy, because we live in a digital driven world, and your profile picture, your image is usually the first thing that people see when they see you. It is your first impression. And let's take that even deeper with all of your branding. I think that too many times we think that branding is a logo or a font or a color palette. And branding is really about the feel, right? How you make people feel. And of course, we use colors, and of course, we use images to do that. But on the Go Brunch platform, we can create an entire branded immersive feeling that is also interactive and personal. And it shows up, and it's a picture is worth 1,000 words, right? Well, how about if you create a landing page that is immersive, and it actually says everything about your business. How when people come in, they feel safe, they feel excited, they feel empowered. Whatever it is that you want them to feel, you can create an atmosphere that allows them to feel that. So obviously, if they come in and they feel that way, well, they're going to want to come back. They're going to want to know more about you. They're going to want to work with you. They're going to want to, what else do you have to say? Because if you can make me walk into a space, into a meeting, and I feel this comfortable, what else can you do? And that's kind of what Go Brunch offers us. It offers us a place where we can do that. Because if you just take me into a boring meeting that's video and you're just sitting there in rectangles and we're just talking, I'm going to be probably really excited to talk to you. And then I'm going to be excited to leave because I'm bored. Right? Like you can just say so many words. But if you walk into my Go Brunch space, you're like, wow, this tells me a lot about you right here. Like, what in the world do you have going on here, Peggy? One of my spaces, and I'll show it later, one of my spaces is a top secret headquarter. It's in a forest. I mean, it's like definitely where world domination plans happen. You know what I mean? And, people come in and they're like, oh, this isn't what I expected.
Yeah.
And they talk about it, they remember it. And so I think that's kind of the amazing thing that a platform like Go Brunch gives us, the ability to carry our brand beyond a logo, beyond a color palette, beyond, but really a feeling. Because people don't, they're not going to remember your tagline. They're going to remember how you made them feel.
Oh,
And
this is music to my ears. You're absolutely right. When it comes to the whole experience, it's not about just how the transaction went or just how a touch point went. It's how you said it. It's the emotion. It's how you make someone feel. And then sometimes it's comfortable. Sometimes these immersive spaces really describes someone's personality. Someone gets to feel how I think, and to
Mhm.
bring that together into one place is just it's tremendous. I know we got a lot of Go Brunchers here jumping in, and Mike goes on to say, building community equals return business, and
Mhm.
you know what? Uh, we can talk about clicks and open rates and cart abandonment, and that's all great stuff, but when you start to bring emotion,
Mhm.
are people going to stick around a little longer because you've given them a different ambiance? I think they are. Now, is it going to? I'm not the marketer who says I'm going to 10 times your business, because I can't make that guarantee. But if I can get you one extra customer who's going to be an advocate based on what you've provided, listen, that stuff is contagious. It grows, it festers, and it builds. Um, it builds community.
And here's what I know. A lot of people are out there offering programs like, do these 5 steps and you're going to see the same success that I saw. And those things make me crazy because, first of all, your definition of success is probably not my definition of success. Your clients are not my clients. Your problems are not my problems. Your personality is not my personality. So, how in the world are you going to sell me a step by step program that's going to change my business? No, it's going to change your business because I'm giving you money. That's whose business it changes. And I think that this allows us to build a community where we can actually define what success is. Are there certain principles that work for business? Absolutely. But how you interpret those principles and how you apply those principles to your business, those are all going to be different. So what I've tried to create is a space where, yes, we teach principles. Yes, we teach you the things, we give you tools, but it's your responsibility to interpret that to how it feels authentic to you so that your business can find the success that you want. Because some people, they want the money, they don't care about community, they just want the bottom line, and that's fine. But a lot of people, especially the people that are attracted to work with me, we want to really make an impact in the world we live in. We really want to see things change. We want to help people. We want to help, even if it's that one person that we were able to help, that feels successful to us. And of course, we want to pay our bills. Like,
Yeah,
we want
absolutely.
to live the lifestyle we want, but we want to do it in a way that doesn't feel cringy and gross. We want to do it in a way that lines up with our values and, speaks to who we are. And I think that that's what you can do.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think here's one thing that I see myself leaning and leveraging this ecosystem. Uh, I want to be able to provide social proof, and I think I can do it successfully. I did it for the first time, and I'm sure those who are in business longer than I've been, I had to turn away business last week because
Yay.
because I was being asked, can you provide me some social proof, some references that I can talk to? It's like I can, you know, coming from a an insurance background, I'm not comfortable sharing my customers' information. That's private information. So that part of me doesn't want to do that.
Mhm.
Uh, and I think here's a great place to contribute to and provide some level of social proof and really hammer my message that, hey, I can give you all the references. You can talk to other customers, but because I tailor my services to your needs, what others are going to talk about met their needs and met their requirements. If I show you a sample of what I did for someone else, it may not resonate with you, and it may have you with second thoughts, like, oh, I don't know if you're the person for me. So I'm going to lean into this. It's going to give me a platform so that people can immediately see and feel and get some level of social proof that, hey, I'm in the right ecosystem. I'm in the right environment. I'm talking to someone who uh, is thinking outside the box, and I'm immersed in what they're talking about.
Yeah, I love that.
All right,
So
let's
should we show them around?
let's show them around.
Should I start with the Global Business Plaza?
Please do. So let's jump into the Global Business Plaza. It's like going down to your strip mall and finding businesses. Listen, I'm going to shut up. I'm going to let you do.
So the Global Business Plaza is a place that people that are using the Go Brunch platform for their business can go to be seen. The one I wouldn't say downside, I would say complication with your Go Brunch is that you can't, you can't get, you're not going to be organically found in the search engine. Your Go Brunch room won't be. So what I've done is I've created a platform that's connected to a directory, and the directory has search engine optimization built in so that people can find your profile, which has your Go Brunch link right in it. So it's kind of that bridge between the two so that we can still bring that organic people out, and also it's searchable. So, even if they just find you, in the directory and, they can search for whatever category you list yourself under, or they can just come into the plaza and walk around and start clicking on buttons and popping into your store, just like if you're taking a Saturday with the family, walking through the mall and just like, oh, let's go window shop here and let's go window shop here. So there's lots of ways to be found. But I think the real magic in the Global Business Plaza is the shop. We call them shop keeps because I'm corny. And when I say we, it's me. I did that. Um, When somebody says, people call me, no, you call you. Yeah. So that's my corny thing. But the people that have shops that are connected to it, there's a couple levels. You can come in free and be in the directory. But if you want to be part of the actual plaza, be part of the membership, we have workshops, we have networking, we have all these things. So we're building relationships with each other. And then it makes it easy for us to refer each other to our friends and family, because we actually understand what you do. Because until, you can say what you do, but until I have a conversation with you, I may not really understand what that means. And so we do this thing, it's called Around the Plaza Happy Hour. And we go to different Go Brunches every single week. And they show us their room, they tell us their vision, and we give them feedback. We're like, hey, your room's really pretty, but it doesn't really do the thing you told us you wanted it to do. And so we give them feedback on how to maybe implement something that would make it more engaging, and more when people come, because when you're building something, you're so close to it and you love it, you can't see the pitfall. So we give you that valuable feedback. And it's fun, we get to see each other's stuff and get ideas, and all the different things.
And so
Yeah.
I'm sure you're going to jump into it, but uh, here's a question. So
Okay.
this is a virtual, let's say, a virtual shopping experience. So not only are you able to bring your business to your community, but let's say I went in with intentions to look at and stop by Kendra's virtual store. Hey, I'm in search of a marketing agency. I need some support. But while I'm here, let me look around.
Hmm.
Oh, Peggy's got a shop. Oh my goodness, I had no idea Peggy offered these services, and you kind of complement each other, and it's that whole mall experience. I'll go to a mall. I need a pair of shoes. I'm gonna go in, pick up my pair of shoes. Guess where
And
I'm
you're
gonna
going to get
stop?
ice cream along the way.
Right? You're going
And
to,
you're
and you know what? There's going to be a sale somewhere else, or there's going to be a value
going to get a couple
proposition,
pair of jeans.
and you're going to stop. And this is exactly what you're emulating. And I really like the fact that this is what we're talking about today. But more importantly, th- th- we talk about immersive, and immersive means that you can pop into a store, and the business owner is there to answer your questions live.
Yep.
Or when the mall is closed, guess what? You can't go to the bricks and mortar. But if after dinner, when the kids are asleep, I want to jump in and take a look at what's around, I can do that. And even though the shop owner isn't there, you can still drop in and see. So eh, that those two things are, and bringing those two things to life is something special.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Kendra just wants to see
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah. I
demo.
think
I
that
do.
I
I'm
think we
dying to see it. So, when LinkedIn did away with the live events or the audio events, I heard a lot of noise about Go Brunch at that time. But honestly, I hadn't heard much else until you brought up wanting to have Peggy on the show. So, yes, show us. I'm excited to see it.
I think you have to push the button, and so I can share the screen. I don't know. I don't
All
I
right.
don't remember how Restream works.
All right. There we go.
Yay. Okay. So this is the plaza. And you walk in, you can see the different categories here. And there's a welcome video. You can play that. I tell you, all the different things. We have a bot here that will answer any questions you have, and probably so much more. I like to overtrain my bots. So it will tell you my favorite color, probably, if you ask it. Anyway, nobody cares. But but here's businesses and professional services. So we have these businesses up here. And then we have creative digital services, and you can pop in. We have a photo retoucher. So if you need your photos retouched, I mean, just like the list goes on and on. We've got pickaxe bots here, health and wellness, lots of health and wellness folks, e-commerce, people that are actually selling things that have stores that are built in there. And then these are media and some different different businesses, different specialty businesses. I think she does onboarding. This is um, he does, what is he? Um, a really interesting way of using Go Brunch because he ties it into live streaming and does all sorts of crazy things. But here's the directory. The directory, has the businesses. People list their events that they're having in their store, in their businesses. We got all the events here. Coupons, if you're like, hey, I got a discount to offer. Articles, people can write articles, and there's a lot of really helpful articles in there. All these different things. But obviously, we got the search. You can search by category, or you can just go in and see all the different things that are in here. We'll just pop into hers, and then her directory listing shows you can chat with her, you can leave her a review. It tells a little bit about her business operation hours by appointment. You can get on her calendar. You can find her social medias. You can jump right into her Go Brunch room right there by clicking that. And again, it has, specialties, articles, events, like everything all in one place. And like I said, of course, you can direct message her there or go right into her Go Brunch room and message her from there. So that is kind of a little overview of the plaza itself. Now, Kendra, what else would you like me to show you? Would you like me to show you some actual Go Brunch rooms that are being used
Yeah.
as businesses? Yeah.
Yes, when you browsed over that part, I was like, "Ooh, I wonder what a room looks
I
like."
wonder what a room looks like. Well, first of all, let me just show you. This is in the Global Business Plaza. We have a pro tip arcade. It's a bot arcade, and there's little different tools that people can use. When you click on the thing, the bot opens up, and then you can, find out, how to take advantage of your membership. We have one that helps you brainstorm if you're just stuck and you need ideas on your business. We have follow up because it's great to get leads, but where do we always drop the ball? We drop the ball with follow up. So we have all these tools that help our businesses succeed and actually do the thing. So here is Time Benders, and this is my business. This is why I came to Go Brunch. This is where I help other businesses run profitable businesses. But this is my lobby. I create my Go Brunch space like a building. So if you were to walk into my building, if I had a brick and mortar, you'd walk into a reception area. So I have a video here. It's an interactive video. So you click it and you can click on different things. It'll show you a quick how to use the Go Brunch platform, what to expect. If you go down here, I've got a widget that has frequently asked questions so people can find out. I have the reviews, what people have said about working with me, those kind of things, everything all in one space. And then I have, so many rooms. I have a room that's just a calendar, events that's going on, and our members can also put their calendars on. We have a strategic blueprint. That's where we do a lot of brainstorming and working. A get shit done session room, and it is just what it says. We get stuff done when we're in there. So lots and lots of different things that can go on in these spaces. This is the strategy room, because who isn't going to walk into this room and be ready to like take over the world, right?
Yeah, I like that
I mean,
room.
this is a place where plans happen. Like we are here to solve problems and get that thing done. Yeah, so that's to me a fun place. Now, this is Quintisphere. This is the business where I help people run their Go Brunch or put their Go Brunch together. I really help them in these kind of things. And this is my top secret headquarters because it's fun. So you can have just any kind of look you can think of. You can literally do it in Go Brunch. You guys mentioned the expo. the expo that we just had. And all these little gold buttons are people that are in the Global Business Plaza. But there were 72 exhibitors in this expo, and we had over 400 people attending. And you could just browse and just, click on any of these and pop into their rooms. We have a agenda calendar that, people would have their uh, 10-minute talks, and they could go into a calendar, into that. But it's endless what you're going to find when you pop into a room, because it's that person's brand, it's that person's expression, it's that person's personality. So, as you pop in, you just never know what you're going to get, because every different person has a different personality, a different thing that they like to do, a way they like to present themselves, and you get a feel for the people as you pop in. So I'm just popping into a few just to kind of give you guys a quick this she's probably in a meeting, she's locked, that door is locked, lady. That's what I get for popping in
Okay. So
unannounced.
that brings up a question I was kind of wondering about, because Americo had said earlier that when the business owner's there versus when the business is closed. So you can close your business if you have something going on. So you're not expected to be there to answer all the questions all the time.
You're not expected to be there to answer all the time. Some businesses like this, they're just here. They have a doorman bot here that's there to answer questions. They have all these things you can click on. So if they're not there, this room is set up to really answer your questions and help you out. And then you can get on their calendar, and they'll come in and meet with you one on one. So, it's really see, they've got just a bunch of different resources embedded here. And, a lot of people do it that way, where their landing page is that it's a place of information. Now, this is my business for the expo. And it is very much a landing page. It's got a lot of resources and stuff in there, lots of different things. It tells you scroll down here. I got some freebies for you, some downloadable, PDFs, and I've got a GPT room generator bot you can have, and prompts and all different things. So these are, so even if I'm not here, you can take advantage of all these different things. And then, of course, if you came into something like this, whoops, let me switch. You came into something like this, I'm probably here in one of these other rooms, because I'm probably, with somebody, we've got something going on. But there's also some resources for you. So you can set it up any way you want. These are just ways that I've seen other people do and ways that I do. So yeah. And you can lock the door. You can have a password on a door, so that if a lot of people have memberships, and part of it is paid and part of it is free. So there you can set it up so people have different access to different places.
Yeah. So here's a question, and I know it was mentioned. There's still a lot happening with Go Brunch. It is probably an organization that's still in its infancy stages, and there's only one way from here, and that's upward. So I think it's safe to say that adapting and adopting this as an option, or I didn't want to say alternative, but alternative, is now's a good time to get in and be part of this community. Now, can we talk about uh, how we, or business owners, can integrate this? So we're looking at this from a Go Brunch lens. Now,
Hmm.
I have a website. I can also create hyperlinks in my website that brings people to this environment. Can I not?
You can. So what I do actually is, my website takes you to a Go Brunch room, and I will embed, like our LLC. You have to have a website, right? So that website actually takes you to a Go Brunch room, and then you scroll down, just like the directory is embedded, here, because this is just a website. The directory is a website, And so just as that is embedded here, I have a website embedded into my Go Brunch room. And I'll do that a lot because you can add widgets, you can add call to action buttons, all the things right here. Or you can, vice versa on your website, have buttons that take them over here and maybe have your website in both places. Again, it is your imagination. If you can dream it, you can probably figure out a workaround and make it happen.
All right, so here's what I'm envisioning, and I'm sure you have a sample room that you can jump us into. So here
Okay.
I am. I provide an intangible service. I'm a coach, I'm a consultant. I offer one-on-one support, group support when I'm not on site or working with a particular business. I envision down the road creating a community or boot camps where I can bring, you know, maybe it becomes part of my value proposition. I want to provide a boot camp for maybe open to work
Uh-huh.
professionals or young solopreneurs trying to get into business. And I think at what I have right now, I got a Teams account, and we all know what Teams and Zoom and that environment looks like. And I'm going to build a Go Brunch room that is in an auditorium or a lecture hall and have people feel like they're actually immersed in an auditorium. Do you have
Uh-huh.
something you can share?
I do. I'm trying to pull up because I also, when you were talking, I was like, oh, I didn't even think to pull this up before, but let me see if I can find this really quick. But yeah, definitely have some auditoriums that I can show you. Oh, uh, this will work if I can't find the other one.
All
Okay.
right.
All right.
So,
So let me go back over here to this space. Now this isn't necessarily an auditorium; it is a theater. And let me get over here and share this tab. There we go. So this is a theater, and I've done some screenings of some short movies. And so what I do is I share the screen. We all sit here, and the movie shows on top, and then we can have. I have the filmmakers and a couple of people in the film, and we have a Q&A after with the audience. So it's really fun. I don't have an auditorium, but gosh, I know there's so many great auditoriums. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take you to the Go Brunch auditorium because Richard has a really cool auditorium. Oops, I did not. I popped into the wrong space here.
so Kendra, you had a lunch and learn not too long ago.
Hmm.
Now, picture winter in Wisconsin, and you got bad weather and you can't make it, but you still want to meet with those people.
Yeah.
Imagine meeting and having your lunch and learn virtually. As much as you love it in person,
Yeah.
is there an opportunity?
Absolutely. I was kind of thinking when you guys were talking, do a lot of networking in person and immersive that way. This is just kind of a digital version of that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I
exactly
like
what
that
it is.
idea.
Yeah. So I don't know if you saw, but this is Richard's auditorium, and he does a lot of really cool teaching classes in there, and he has a video that pops up here that they can watch. It comes in, and people sit here in the auditorium, they take the class, and then they go on to the next thing. So those are a couple of options like that. But I wanted to show you something a little bit more creative, and I don't know why it didn't dawn on me in the very beginning to show you this. But I did a riddle room using Go Brunch, and it's been quite a popular little space. So you go in here, and we have the riddle master that tells you the rules, what to do. We also have lots of like little hidden Easter eggs all over the place. So I always encourage people to click on things and through the riddle room, there's postcards. So this, you have to collect postcards through that was one of the challenges we did during the thing. So you go into the riddle room. He reads you a riddle, and once he reads you the riddle, you go into this and it's going to ask you, it's basically a password, but the answer to the riddle is the key to go into the next room. So he reads you the riddle, but there's also like all sorts of little hidden things. And I also hid the answer in case you're not a riddle person and riddles are hard. You can still get the answer and get to the next room. And because I'm the moderator of this, it's not going to ask me to type in the answer. It's just going to take us to the next room. But these are things that you can do to build engagement, to build learning. And the other, I was asked to create a space for teenagers. It's an escape room. And so I created this escape room for teenagers where they listen to the video and then they answer 3 different questions. And there's different things that teach them how to what to click on, what to do. And then they go to the next thing, to the next room. They watch another video. This is about like business success, career success, and so on and so on. And then when they get to the very end, they get a trophy, right? They win something. They actually fill out Google, I think they had like a Google thing or something form, and then they actually won something through this. So you can gamify things. It's just, again, imagination is your limit.
Yeah, and Michael said it as well. Gamification options are endless.
Yeah.
So imagine yourself, and yeah, here I am. Imagine yourself as that orange. You
Hmm.
want to set yourself apart. What a dynamic way of doing it. The
So
options are endless.
they're endless. And I think that the reason that this is so important to me is I've been a professional photographer my whole life. And when I introduce myself and tell people I'm a photographer, what do you think people give me an idea? What do you think people say to me? I'm meeting you for the first time, Kendra, and you say, "Hey, what do you do?" And I go, "Oh, I'm a photographer." What are you going to say to me?
I'm probably gonna say, "Oh my gosh, my family and I haven't had our pictures taken in so long."
Yeah,
Yeah, and it
but
brings to mind that you
normally,
need a picture taken.
no, normally
No?
what people say to me is, "Oh, my brother-in-law is a photographer," or "My dad has a camera," or "My," you know, and a lot of times these people that are also photographers, maybe they've just bought a camera, they've never had training, but they have an eye, right? So, what is it that makes me stand out from Uncle Joe that just bought a camera? Because if I tell you, like, well, I have 36 years of experience, I have training, I've trained photographers, like, I teach photography, like, blah, 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 you don't care, right? That's not going to make you want to hire me. What is it that's going to make me stand out that's different from other photographers? And that's always the key. So, you're a business coach, you're a strategist. What is it that makes you different from someone else? Well, when they have that first discovery meeting with you and you're not on Zoom, you're in a place like this, you don't have to tell them anything else. They're like, you think different and I like it. I want to stay here.
Yeah. So your Go Brunch environment can essentially be your live lead magnet. People jump into your room. It's like, all right, I want to learn more. I want to work with this person.
You have
Yeah.
them like, oh, because somebody comes into my Go Brunch room, they're not going to tell me, oh, my cousin's a photographer. They're going to be like, wait, tell me more about this headshot strategist. What is it that you do that's different? Because they already know I'm different. Like,
Mhm.
you already know Peggy is different. And no comments from any of y'all out there.
Okay, I've got some marketing questions for you then. Um, people who are already on the platform, like how
You're cutting out. Is it just on my end or is she
No,
cutting out?
yeah.
Okay.
Ask again. You did cut out there for a second. Did we
She
lose
was
her?
going to ask me a question that was going to solve the entire world's problems, and she had internet problems.
Oh, she jumped out. Let's get her back in. All right. While we wait for her to jump back in, uh, oh, here she is.
sorry.
All
I
right. No
can
worries.
hear construction going on outside of my house. I don't know what they're doing, but our internet went completely down last night and I thought it was good today, but it's obviously glitchy. So I was just asking about marketing and for people who aren't already on the platform, how do you get them to visit your Go Brunch? Or how do you get people to come into the Global Business Plaza so that the people who have stores there have customers?
So that's a great question, first of all. When I left the traditional video platform and moved to Go Brunch, it was a year and a half ago, a little over a year and a half ago. And when I popped into this, everybody's like, how are you going to switch people? How are you going to get people over? And my answer was, that's where I'm going to be. So they'll just come. And so, I use TidyCal for scheduling. I know a lot of people use Calendly or, lots of different things. That link, when you schedule a meeting with you, that link takes you to my Go Brunch space. That's where we're going to have a meeting. That's the very first time a lot of people have ever seen Go Brunch. And I just walk in and start talking to them about whatever our meeting's about. But always they're like, what is this place? Like, what is this platform? Where are we? And I'm like, oh, well, this is Go Brunch. And then I'm like, actually, this would be a great fit for your business. Like, what you do would really fit in this. And then I tell them about Go Brunch. And then I say, and if you're really serious and you want to start making money with it, like, come on over to the Global Business Plaza, because that's where we're trying to turn these connections into revenue. Like Go Brunch can be a really fun hobby. It can be a place that you can go down an endless rabbit hole of design. And believe me, I have so many rooms that I would be embarrassed to show you how many rooms I have created. And I create rooms for other people. And so, like, to tell you how many rooms I've actually made it would be ridiculous.
I
But
said something the other day, and I offended someone. I said, "Hey, this is like Minecraft for grown-ups." It's like,
it
what are you talking
is.
about? I'm a grown-up, and
It
I
is,
love
because you're
Minecraft.
building these
So
worlds. I have a 21, almost 21-year-old, so I lived through that whole Minecraft thing. Um, but it is. I've never thought of it that way, but so true, because yeah, you could just sit here all day and build worlds, and yeah, absolutely 100%. Um, but yeah, so now, how, once you're in the Global Business Plaza, how do we get people to you? Well, we do things like the expo. We do things where we invite other people in. We do big things. But I think the real magic is all the networking that we do, because when you actually get to know someone, like, because I've been running the expo for over a year, I know a lot of Go Brunchers, and I know what they do, but I don't always know what they do.
yeah,
Like,
fair
I
enough.
think my LinkedIn says that I'm a virtual ecosystem architect. What does that even mean? I made it up. I made it up. It sounded cool. But what do I really do? And so when we do these networking, then you start talking to people and you're like, oh, I get it. Oh, that's really good. Oh, I don't need that, but I know somebody that does. So there's that. And I think that's where the gold is. But obviously, we just did a speed networking on Go Brunch earlier this month. And we had about 40 people in the first one, and it was not without glitches. I was on the back end having a panic attack, and I was about to call everyone in to say, thanks for trying this. I am so sorry. it worked before before in my mind it worked, and I did think I tested it. But what happened was I called everybody back and everybody was laughing and they're like, "This is the best networking event I've ever been to. Why did you call us back?" And I was like, "Oh, okay, carry on then."
Hey, it's technology. It things will happen. Look, did we not test our intro video before we went live? And look what
We
happened.
did. I got to see the intro video, but everybody watching didn't.
Here's let me share. I know I'm a little green behind the ears, and this is all new to me. But when it comes to my calls to action, to book a call, have a coffee chat with me, have a one-on-one, come meet me in my office. I'm starting to play around, and I'm trying to build my enterprise. Let's call it. And I'm not a Trekkie, so it's not that enterprise. But I want to be able to give and provide that emotional connection when someone is invited to have a coffee chat. Today, if they go into my Calendly, now they have the option to select um, Teams or select Go Brunch. At some point, when I'm comfortable with what my Go Brunch ecosystem looks like and feels like, I'm going to remove Teams altogether. I'm
Mhm.
going to take take over the screen here and share here.
I love that room so much, and I love
So
your logo, by the way. That is so cool.
I'm going to turn off the chat for a second here.
And I'm not just saying that because blue's totally my jam, but this is a beautiful.
So
I love the smoke coming off the coffee.
here's the my coffee chat room. It kind of blends in with some of my color tones. It's not my color palette, but it's got the tones, and we can sit down, and I have um, our avatars that will hover over the piping hot coffees, and we'll just have a conversation, introduce each other, and it'll be an exploratory conversation that just looks and feels different than joining me on Teams.
Okay, Americo, I
Yeah.
got a question because I'm so new to this. When you compare it to Teams or Zoom, are you still having a face-to-face in this room? Because you said something about
So
avatars.
yeah, so you have the option of going on camera, or putting a thumbnail and just having a virtual conversation with your thumbnail.
And I want to add something here too, because I do realize some people are like, "What the heck is Go Brunch still?" So you can make your circle sizes any size you want. In my office, my circles are really big. So we're still seeing each other really large. There's also an option to use what's called the presenter camera, which is more of a rectangular camera and it's bigger. So you can, as you build the room, you can choose, like, do you want to give people the circle cam or just the presentation cam, or do you want to give them the option to do both? Like, as you're setting up the room, you have the option to do all that, to change the sizes of the circle. To somebody I was meeting with earlier today, I was meeting in my top secret headquarters, and he said, "I love that your circles aren't too big, because sometimes it feels overwhelming to be on camera and you're so big." He's like, "This, I can kind of feel comfortable and kind of put my guards down." And I was like, I had never thought of that. As a photographer, I want to see your face, I want to see your eyes, I want to, but some people actually get nervous in that. So that kind of gives that option to relax if you don't want to be front and center.
So I will make this part of my content. I will introduce snippets of it just to promote what I'm building here, and help the Go Brunch community grow. Uh, I'll be the first to say I'll probably be a little more conservative than some of the futuristic and fancy rooms that are created. But that's just aligning with my personal brand and my persona, and doesn't mean that it's right or wrong, or better or not. It's just what I think aligns with who I serve. So you take a coffee meeting and you sign up a client, and here's another opportunity. Hey, why don't you meet me in my office? Uh, Join me in my office. We'll have a session, a strategy session, and talk about what next steps might be for whatever project I'm hired for. Now, with this whole virtual and globalization economy, not everyone's going to have the ability to join me in Toronto, and but if I invite them to my office in Toronto,
I love that so much.
hey, here's a view of the Toronto landscape or skyscape, and hey, why don't you join me? We'll have a chat, and you kind of immerse yourself in my office, opposed to just looking into a camera and having a conversation. So it's really about building that emotional connection. And if I'm here to help others be seen, be heard, and be remembered, here's another option in my arsenal that I can leverage. Hey, let's build that emotional connection for you as well. And your customer touch points don't have to always be the traditional website, Calendly, Teams, or Zoom. Let's let's have you stand out. Let's have you become that orange, or pick whatever fruit you want to be. The point is, let's try to set yourself apart. Yeah.
That is so awesome. And that's the cool thing. I like that you mentioned like you feel like yours are going to be less futuristic or less, whatever. But that's the thing is like anybody can have their personality. I mean, you've probably been in some rooms that are just like beyond like fairy tale crazy, mystical, and then you're in another room that's just very plain and traditional, and both of them are perfect.
Yeah.
Both of them are just perfect.
All right. So enough about my rooms. I had a reception area I was building, but I'm focusing on now. I got to embed some links and give it some uh, tangible calls to action, so that people can not only immerse themselves but also be able to navigate um, when I'm not around. Hey, Mariko's not here. If I leave my room open, they can still either have a link back to my website, or have a link to um, maybe a lead magnet of some sort, or just resources, a checklist, whatever it is that I might want to embed as part of my marketing strategy. I can leave the room open, and anyone visiting the room can kind of look around and collect resources.
Because it's not about a pretty picture,
No,
it's
it's
about
not
being
about.
effective.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'm excited to jump into this and transition away from the traditional meeting space, especially when I move towards um, the group coaching. I know there's a lot of people who get shell shocked, or sticker shocked when they see some of the prices that service providers have. And hey, it's for some it's good value, and for others, hey, yeah, I'd love to pay that, but I can't afford those prices for one-on-one support. So if I were to down the road offer a group type of offering, then I'll create an auditorium and bring like-minded people with like-minded intentions to an auditorium, and we'll have a conversation at a smaller price point, um, and have everyone turn it into a network community, turn it into, like, the possibilities are endless. And I guess that's the message I'm trying to zero in on.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, and Michael just adds he can't explain how much of a difference the immersive aspect of Go Brunch makes. And now that I'm seeing it, I'm starting to get it.
it's yeah. So it's listen. I'm the furthest from being a techie. I will tell you wholeheartedly. I This whole AI and immersive, anything that was tied to tech, scared the hell out of me. I've come from an environment where I would collaborate and partner, and I would be a stakeholder in a project, but a business stakeholder, a product stakeholder, and I would lean heavily on the tech teams that were at the table. But hey, I know that uh, if I roll up my sleeves, there's some good things that I'm going to create. And guess what? You touched on it, Peggy. People are going to come in my room. It's like, eh, it's okay, but it would be a lot better if you did X, Y, Z. And I think that's the excellent part of community, whether it's on LinkedIn, whether it's on Go Brunch. We have a very philanthropic community where people just want to help other people
Yeah.
look good, feel good, and help them grow their business. So,
Because the one thing that I know is we're not each other's competition. We're each other's colleagues. If you're always thinking about edging people out and always thinking about how you can get all the attention, you're hurting yourself. But when you're out there helping other people raise up, you're by default going to raise up with them. Nobody has the gifts that you have. You know, a photographer, remember, everybody's a photographer, right? But not everybody has my personality. Not everybody has my style. Not everybody has my set of, unique ways that I do things, whether that's in photography or business or anything else. And when we come together, you may be doing the same thing or similar to what I'm doing, but we're reaching different people. The people that want to work with me don't want to work with you. Vice versa. The people that want to work with you, they don't want to work with me. But I can send them to you, or,
yeah,
and we can help each other. And that to me is how we're going to not just build a strong community, but really start bringing money in and taking control of our lives. Because I don't know if anybody's heard the rumor, but things are kind of crazy in the world right now, especially down here in the US. So we need to stick together and we need to make the rules. We need to decide how we're going to run our business and really how we're going to treat people. And we can do that here. We don't have to worry about algorithms. We don't have to worry about some billionaire's idea cutting us off. We have a platform that we can use the way we want to build the community that we want to live in.
yeah, absolutely. And listen, some days it feels like we're herding cats, and
That's every day.
and then there's other days where you're the cat herder that someone's going to say, "Hey, you know what? I can put a fantastic marketing campaign. We'll put together an email campaign for you. We'll run it for 12 weeks. And at the end of those 12 weeks, guess what? Maybe we didn't get the click through rate. Maybe we didn't get the conversions we wanted. And that's where you bring Americo, the cat herder, in for a deep dive session. It's like, oh, well, I'll play devil's advocate. Is have you did we consider this? Did we consider that? Here's how I look at it. Here's an outside look from a 1,000 foot lens or 1,000 foot view, and people start to realize, like,
Mhm.
oh man, never thought of that. Oh, wish we had known that before running the campaign. All right, let's run it again. So I'm here. I provide a safety net for my marketing partners who, they do a great job, and sometimes we'll butt heads and we'll agree to disagree. Last night I had a wonderful conversation on email strategies and email campaigns, and our email's still alive. And it was a 50-50 split. The room was split. Pe- People live and die by it and have great success stories. Others, like myself, it's like, man, why isn't it working for me? Why am I hearing all these success stories? Yet I'll send out an email blast and I'll have atrocious results. So you're right. Community is about kind of feeding off of what we know best and how we can help others. We're not competitors. We are comrades.
Mhm.
right?
And maybe the package isn't wrong. Maybe it just went to the wrong address. And I feel like sometimes we're trying to present our thing, that we do because, somebody on social media told us this is the only way it works, and we're not seeing results because maybe our people aren't there.
That's right.
Maybe our people aren't at that address. I know my people don't open emails because you know who doesn't open emails?
Yeah, and that's the lens I look at things from. There were speakers last night in Keith Keller's room. First person stood up and said, "I got 18,000 unopened emails, unread emails." And here I am thinking to myself, like, so you know what I'm talking about. I will bulk delete. So even the ones that probably are intended and bring value to me are buried, but I
Mhm.
will just bulk delete them because I can't be bothered. And so here I am. I've set myself up for failure from an email marketing because I'm thinking of what I do
Mhm.
as an email recipient and
Mhm.
not what others do. So I got to give this a chance. I got to believe that those who are skilled and experienced and say, hey, this works. I, I got to trust that it works. Doesn't work for me doesn't mean that it's not going to work for everyone else.
Mhm.
Right.
Exactly.
Uh, but
This
the
has
way
been so fun.
it has been fun. And, you know, it's a platform where we bring collaborative partners and strategic partners to the conversation because there's only so much marketing and customer experience talk you can do before it starts getting repetitious. And yes, there are going to be different audience members each time, but I think if we bring different dynamics and different angles to this conversation, it brings an added value to our show.
I
So
agree, Americo. This one was definitely not stagnant or boring. This was something totally new. So
yeah,
thank you, Peggy, for joining us.
Thanks for having me. I was really enjoyed it.
yeah. So I love living outside the box, thinking outside the box, and this is in fact uh, an outside the box solution, an outside the box supplement to what people might be doing already. It's a, it's an option to do things differently, and I'm looking forward to working and using and leveraging this for my business. And to Kendra's sentiment, I too want to thank you, Peggy, for coming back. Under short notice, we canceled and we got this show back on the air. I can't thank you enough for bringing Go Brunch and the Global Business Plaza to our community.
Well, I enjoyed myself, but as you can tell, I love to talk. So thank you for letting me get my words out today.
Excellent. So, for everyone else who's joining us or watching on Team Replay, we look forward to your comments. Engage with us. Let us know where you're listening from. And if you have any questions, drop them in. We are live not only on LinkedIn, this is also being multi-streamed on my YouTube channel. So I look forward to engaging with any comments that come out of this show. And once again, thank you so much. I am going to shut her down for the afternoon and play some music and try to figure out why our video didn't work. All
It's a
right.
really cool video, so it's a shame.
All
They're gonna
right.
have to come to your next live so they can watch your intro video.
Thank you. Take care.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.